This week has been a busy week down on the allotment if you've checked out my blog of my weekly work down here, but let me show you what has been happening. Lots is growing and lots has been weeded, so yeah, it's been a very hectic week down on the allotment. But before we show you the tour, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with more tours on my allotments and my vlogs and my videos. So let's have a look around the allotment. Plot. My dad's put me up a fence at the front of my plot. This week, next weekend, I'm going to be covering this and getting it built. This is going to be my extension to my shed. I started this at the beginning of the year, but time got the essence. So that's going to be my next project. That's going to be my melon shed, where I'm going to be growing all my melons, as I'm really concentrating on growing them this year, because I grew them last year and only a few plants and they did absolutely fantastic. So fingers crossed I can get absolutely loads of melon plants growing. That's the plan. As you can see, the tulips are growing very well. The daffodils are dying off now, so it'll be a case of chopping the tops off them and letting the nutrition grow back. But yeah, the daffodils look fantastic. Look at them. Not the daffodils, tulips. That's a nice variety, that one. So yeah, still got more tulips to come out. My pansies are doing well. I planted them years ago then. They still pop through every so often. And my allium is just about to pop open, so fingers crossed next week it might be out, so come back next week to check it out. Down the side of my plot, this is where I've planted some sweet peas, no sign of them yet, and I've planted some French beans along the back as well, no sign of them yet. But down this side is where I planted some gladiola. That's just starting to pop through. And my blueberries, they've got flowers on them, so they're doing well. I'm pleased about that. Now this is my Victoria plum tree. I've spotted this week that I'm getting absolutely loads of plums growing. Look at them. So this year is going to be a bumper crop, hopefully, of Victoria plums. That is a good variety to grow if you want to grow a plum tree, Victoria plum. So try that out. My lilies are popping through. They're doing well. Now these raised beds are where I planted spring onion, but no sign of them in that bed yet. But in that bed over there, they're just popping through. So fingers crossed next week we'll have more popping through next week. Yeah, everything seems to be going well. Another gladioli bulb popping through. I've planted about 300 gladioli bulbs, so my plot is going to look fantastic come summer. So stay tuned for that. My cooking apple tree, that's getting plenty of blossom on it now. I did give it a good chopping back last year, so fingers crossed I do get a harvest this year, but I'm not expecting miracles. Down this side I've planted broad beans, and some are just starting to pop through, so hopefully they're going to come on, and I'll put some netting behind them for them to grow up and anchor onto. My rhubarb's doing brilliant. And my other fruit tree, look at them, they're growing well. They're my pears, so I believe. And also another pear tree, which has got plenty growing on it, as you can tell. And that's an apple tree there. That's got plenty of blossom on it. That did really well last year, it had such a good harvest. Down this side, that's my lemon balm. I put that in hot water and drink it. It's very good for relaxation. In this bed here, I planted more sweet peas. As you can see, they're all popping through now in a line. I'm going to put some netting up in front of my shed for that to grow up. And I planted some carrots as well amongst all the weeds, as you can tell. But now that they're popping through, I can see where I can actually weed and which areas I should leave. So that's a job for next week. Like I said, this is going to be my melon shed. As you can tell, it's got quite a lot of area. So hopefully I'll have melons down either side. So fingers crossed they'll do well. Down this side is my rhubarb patch. What I started from seed. That's not doing as well down this side. I don't think it gets as much sun as the other side. But I only planted it last year, so I'm leaving that. I won't be picking that. I planted some radish, what are ready in trays but I've learned that you shouldn't plant radish in the ground. You shouldn't plant them in trays. You should actually start radish off in the ground, as it grows better. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'll just start some off in the ground in rows. No sign of my potatoes yet, but as soon as they start popping through, I'll heap the soil up on top of them. But plenty of bindweed growing. But that's a job for pulling out, but that pulls out nice and easy. But it keeps on growing, as you know, if you've got bindweed. So another potato patch, no sign yet. So onto my plot, and these are my strawberry beds, looking fantastic and healthy. As you can see, I'm just getting a flower coming on them now, so that is a good sign that everything is working. I only planted a lot of them this year. Some are last year's plants and some are new this year, so we'll see how we get on. Down that side I've planted lily bulbs and gladioli all the way down the side. I will be growing runner beans behind it and summer flowers in front of them as well, so it's going to look fantastic. The same goes for the other side. I've planted them down that side, as well as my summer raspberries. I'm starting a hedge of summer raspberries. All my wild ones that grow, that shoot up everywhere, I'm planting them down the sides of my plots to have a raspberry hedge. Raspberries are really nice to grow, and you can freeze them as well. My garlic and my onions are doing well. They were planted in November, keeping them weed free. And yeah, not much else is happening down here at the moment on the plot. So we'll have a look in the shed in a second. So those are some spare strawberry plants to pot up in the spare spaces in the strawberry beds. As you can see, the summer raspberries are looking alright. They've got buds on them, so it looks like they're taken. You've always got to plant them in the winter time as they need the moisture to take root. But yeah, you're better off not planting them in the summer or the hot weather, as they don't always take. So yeah, the plot is starting to look pretty clear now compared to last week. Let me just go back a bit further. So that is what it's looking like at the moment. The beds are starting to get clear, the paths are starting to get clear. Still got a lot more left to do, some more beds to paint and some more beds to clear up this bit around here. But that's the job for another week. Like I said, fingers crossed I'll have it all ready for the middle of May. All painted, all the paths cleared, all the beds cleared, ready for planting out, because everything seems to get ready at the same time. Fingers crossed, at the top I want to have a compost bin, as I've not got one and I've not got a seating area, so that's where I'm planning on doing that, up there. Plot and into where the shed is. You know, it's a greenhouse sort of shed. It's one that I built myself, as a greenhouse wasn't tall enough for me and wasn't big enough. As people have seen, that my shed is full to busting. That's why I've extended it. I'll probably still fill that next year when it's bigger. Yeah, as you can tell, absolutely loads growing in my shed. So let's have a look what's happening. I planted some more runner beans. My other runner beans are coming through, which you'll see in a bit. But I want to grow absolutely loads of runner beans down the sides of my plots, like I've shown you. My summer flowers are growing well. I'm trying a lot of summer flowers this year for the bees, as the bees like them obviously to help pollinate all your fruit and vegetables, and we've got to help the bees at this moment in time. My watermelon are doing well. That's my new project for this year. Never grown watermelon before, so if you've grown watermelon, let me know and whether you can actually grow it. But it's just a little test and a trial and error to see if it's doing well. My sweet corn hasn't all popped through, so I'm not happy about that, but we've planted some more sweet corn in another tray here, so that's gonna get going. We're trying some new cauliflower this year, what I've not tried before, these two varieties. And that one, I would say them, but I can't say the word. And cucumbers all popping through. I grow them in trays and then I pot them up into pots. My calendula's growing well as well. My beetroot, like I said, everything's going to be getting ready for potting out next month. And some tomatoes, moneymaker, I put them in trays and then I'll separate them into pots. I'll choose all the best ones. I've done a lot of potting up this week. I've potted up my cabbages, some more lettuce. Spring onions are all growing well in here. Like I said, I've started some out in a bed outside. Spring onions you can fit anywhere, so they don't take up much space, so I'm planning on filling my rows with them as well. Sunflowers are doing fantastic. I potted them up. I've planted another about 100 seeds, so fingers crossed they all come. It's going to look absolutely epic if all my flowers come on my plot this year. It'll be such a nice attraction. Some red kale, I've never tried that before, so that's a new one as well. I've never eaten it either, so we'll see what that's like. I've potted up some spinach. Those are my runner beans, what are growing well at the moment. Like I said, I've started some more. So these ones that I've potted up are about a fortnight behind, so we'll have them in stages. I might even plant some more in a couple of weeks' time, as I've got absolutely loads. I bought them all in the sales, the seeds, so we'll see. My pumpkins, I grew some last year for the first time. They weren't massive, but they were good. So I'm planning on seeing how big I can actually get a pumpkin to grow. So that's this year's challenge. Let's just take that seed off. So we're going to see how big we can actually grow a pumpkin. Lots of lettuce, that's iceberg lettuce. Like I said, I've planted more sunflowers. And I've just got absolutely loads of flowers. My peppers, they seem to be popping through. Plenty of weeds growing in there as well. They grow well. If you ever need any tips on growing weeds, I'm your man. More cucumber. I grow the Market More variety cucumber because that's the best one to grow and the easiest to grow. These are all my cantaloupe melons. Like I said, they're for my melon shed. I won't be needing all them plants. I'm going to give some away. But yeah, they'll be absolutely epic this year. So fingers crossed they're doing well. And some Melba melons as well to try. I've got a few varieties to try, so we'll see how we get on. Red spring onion. I've never actually tried red spring onion before. Has anyone tried it? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's growing well, so that'll be potting out soon. Some more sweet corn. Like I said, I've not got as much as I want. Sweet corn is the best thing that you can grow on the plot. If you've not seen it, I post regular updates on my website. The link is below. It gives you tips on advice to grow sweet corn. And some more peppers, different varieties. As my friends all like peppers. So yeah, everything is looking great. So that's been the tour of my allotment and garden this week for this Sunday. I hope you've enjoyed it. Remember to click the subscribe button to see the updates on when my next one gets posted. I hope you all enjoy these updates and these tours. Remember to check out my website link as well below for all the tips and advice. And feel free to subscribe on my website to the newsletters which I post out on a daily basis, which you can stay up to date with what I am doing down here. Not just on YouTube, I'm on different social media. So if you're on Facebook, check me out, The Yorkshire Gardener, and Instagram, The Yorkshire Gardeners. So thanks for watching. Until next week, everybody, keep gardening.